It's about as much fun as Geoff B disagreeing with me on some things. It's the Emergency Escape Podcast. Welcome in, guys.
We're back again.
I'm joined with John and the aforementioned Geoff B.
Hello.
How are we doing, lads?
We're good.
So it turns out that Geoff has some
he has a bone to pick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from the sound of things, he's got a whole rib cage to pick with me regarding yesterday's podcast. So off you go. You have the floor.
Conversation about Destiny and Destiny 2.
Yeah, go on.
You said perhaps they should find a way of porting items over. Equipment they'd done.
Why did it feel like he just pulled out some paper and started ruffling it on the table? It was like, yeah, hope the first.
Funny you say that. I disagree.
You
basically.
disagree
yes.
About porting items over?
About porting equipment over, yeah.
Okay.
I'm obviously what you said about porting, achievements, bragging rights, all that stuff. That's great. I agree with that.
Mm.
I think it is when you use World of Warcraft as a comparison.
Yeah.
Because that's only ever been one game that's just had stuff bolted on top of it.
Yeah, I thought about this after I said this, that, sequels are sequels, and not necessarily did they have to port things like that over. I was kind of on the train and just figured that, you're saying you can port your character a la Mass Effect, for example. So yeah, I appreciate that. Maybe I was going off on one at that point. So
yeah,
but I would have liked to have seen maybe it will still come. I don't know. I mean, not having played Destiny, I am probably the last person on earth that should weigh in on it. So
yeah,
okay, moving on.
Well, that was it really. Yeah, because you mentioned Mass Effect a lot, and it's kind of the good jump between Mass Effect 1 and 2, where Mass Effect 1 you had guns that could cool down over time, and then suddenly switched that for ammo in Mass Effect 2, or they called it ammo. They couldn't go back on their word and say guns have infinite ammo. Oh, sorry, they don't. So they had to change it and say, oh, now guns use heat sinks that act exactly like ammo.
Yeah. I mean, but heat sinks that because when you say heat sinks in guns, I'm just like, God, I want to play MechWarrior 2 again.
That was fun, yeah.
You're going absolutely ham on someone, and it's like, boo, you're a sitting duck. Okay, can I start off with I've curated the news for discussion today.
Okay.
So this is going to be an interesting one because it's normally John that curates the news. He might have some news as well. But
I don't actually have any news. I do have a thing I want to do before we finish.
Okay, so we'll bash through these as quickly as I can. I'd like for you guys to weigh on them. So obviously the Switch is now out. We talked about the Switch yesterday. Anything to question me about on the Switch stuff there, Geoff? Yeah.
No, I've been keeping up with the news for that. All the business about it tasting horrible, how it disintegrates. You so much look at it. You can't stick stuff on it because it will break it. That sort of stuff. Yeah,
and so the numbers are in, and they apparently have surpassed Switch sales have surpassed the Wii sales in 2 days for the US, and all around the world they're reporting good numbers. So bravo,
the
Nintendo.
Wii or the Wii U?
The Wii is what I've got. I mean, any console launch will surpass the Wii U, wouldn't it?
I mean, yes. To be fair, I could launch a paperclip tomorrow and surpass sales of the Wii U.
Coming to you tomorrow, the official John Go to Bed paperclip.
Yeah, FBF clip.
You heard it here first.
If it asks me if I'm writing,
I see you're trying to record a stream. Would you like some help?
Yeah. So that's that. Switch is, of course, it's going to do well. Congratulations, Nintendo. People bought your thing. When are they not going to buy your thing?
Well, I'd like to say that for a start, they've done the right thing with the naming policy at the very least, in that it's not just called the Wii again.
Mm-hmm.
This was their big problem in selling the Wii U. It was the big problem in selling a lot of the 3DS versions.
Yeah, I feel like if they had gone with another Wii moniker, it probably wouldn't have done as well. But there has been a rise, as is always the case with a new hardware launch. We tapped on the coating, but there are some people saying that they've got dead on arrival machines. The machine just randomly starts audio glitching. The screen's pants.
Did you see the one that came out today about dead pixels, and Nintendo said, "Oh, that's expected. That's not a problem."
That's expected. Yeah, that's gonna backfire. But let's be fair. Nintendo are saying that atop an awfully large pile of money right now. So
I mean, they are somewhere around the Scrooge McDuck money bag.
They are diving headfirst into like money pit right now, and they're going to continue to do so. It's the voice of the disgruntled few, and I get that these will come up more often than not. With any kind of product launch, it happened with the Google Pixel, it happened with the iPhone hundreds of times over. It happened with every single console that's come out. It's crud. You can't 100% perfect a batch of consoles.
Different question. Do you think that they're going to start winding back on the 3DS now? Because they've now got a portable. They now got a game machine that does everything. It does like portable. It does home entertainment.
I think they're going to bring out one final version of the 3DS, which will probably talk to the Switch. The Game Boy Advance you could plug into a GameCube and have the same experience. I reckon you'll get the 3D Switch-ish kind of thing that will act as a controller and possibly a screen.
But they've already got one of those, so it's called the Switch.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just trying to think. They will probably do some kind, or they'll do like a mini version, because that's what they did with the Game Boy Advance. The last thing they did with the Game Boy Advance is make a tiny version of it.
Well, I mean, one of the things that Harry has been saying about the Switch, and specifically with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, is that he would have been intrigued to see how they did it on the Wii U, because he thinks with such a big open world, having the mini-map always present.
Isn't there vicious rumours that Breath of the Wild was originally for the Wii U and they just ported it?
It is out on the Wii U.
Yeah, okay. So
not just vicious rumours, it's on the Wii U.
All right, okay. See, I need to read the news. I can't do a podcast about gaming news and not read the news. But
it's out on the Wii U at the same time. It did exactly the same thing as they did with Twilight Princess, where
and the whole
it was coming, and they came out on both consoles at the same time, but one of them is stunted.
Yeah. Anyway,
are there actually any other games out for the Switch? Because everywhere I look, it's just Zelda everywhere at the moment. And that other one there
was in the last.
We listed them yesterday, Geoff.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so there's your Switch bit of news, and we'll probably do a couple more Switch things as more and more scandalous bits of news emerge about how some people love it and some people hate it. But congratulations, Nintendo! You done made a machine that people will buy, proving they can still do it. I mean, what does that say to the PS Vitas of this world and all of that kind of stuff? Who knows? Is it a console killer? Is it a handheld killer?
So very brief, the big difference between the Wii U and the Switch version is that the Wii U outputs at 720p, while the Switch offers 900p.
That's interesting. A lot of people have been saying it works better as a handheld than it does in the dock.
Yes.
Lots of people have been turning around saying the dock is cheap, poorly made, and is damaging the screen. So more of that as it develops, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But let's move on from Switch news, because I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it many times over. Who here is a fan of No Man's Sky?
Not played it. One person I know has played it.
Hello Games have just announced an update for No Man's Sky. It offers a new ground-based vehicle and will expand on the last update they did. The thing is, I checked the numbers on Steam's live player count, and there are only currently 500 people playing No Man's Sky right now. Right, compare that to the top all time or something like 215,000 concurrent players.
Slight difference.
I mean, this is a point release update, and it's what do you reckon, guys? I mean, No Man's Sky, it kind of disappeared, and then Hello Games popped up from underneath whatever cover they were hiding from and said, "Got an update. It's gonna be good."
I mean, this is the first update they've done as well.
Last time we had any news from them, it was to say that No Man's Sky was a mistake, and then all the stuff around that.
Here, this is a mistake, and we're kind of I don't know what it's going to do. Is it too late to save No Man's Sky?
Yes. Is there a place for it at the moment? Because I know, John, you and I have talked about this before, but the one that I always go back to that's going strong, that does more or less everything No Man's Sky does, is Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, there's Elite Dangerous. There's Space Engineers, which admittedly isn't as big. There's Astroneers,
Star Citizen,
which
is still coming.
Later, there's Star Citizen. There's EVE Online.
There's so much already out there. I think
some might say this is a crowded market.
It is for a market that's entirely based around the vastness of space. There's certainly a lot in it right now.
There's a lot of people taking up that space.
But I think Elite Dangerous and EVE Online are like the two massive big guns that you were going to go up against. I mean, Frontier Elite Dangerous is going to have a fan base of every single person that has owned an Amiga.
Yep.
Or
to begin with,
whose dad owned an Amiga or a BBC Electron. You have the might of the entire first generation of, like, I say, keyboard-based gaming.
Yeah.
That demographic now has its own money and will buy, it's kind of the rose-tinted goggles kind of thing. And with EVE Online, it just has a huge player base.
Yeah.
And when they said when No Man's Sky come out, I kind of feel like it was pitching itself against Minecraft plus space exploration. And there's a whole mod for that in Minecraft. And it's called Galacticraft.
Starbound as well.
Starbound. Yeah. If you don't take into the 3D aspect, you've got all the 2D ones that do it as well, like Starbound and others out there.
Speaking of Elite Dangerous and rolling back the news a few weeks, did you guys see the news about NASA finding those planets?
I did. That was really amazing.
Did you see the news that followed that about Elite Dangerous finding those planets?
I read the news about Elite Dangerous generating that star system.
The thing is, the original map in Frontier was based off of data that NASA had at the time.
Yes.
That's what made Elite Dangerous better than No Man's Sky, for example.
There wasn't anything in the data in that area, and Elite Dangerous is procedural generation. Put a sun there that was slightly smaller than one they found there.
I think it's
but was about the same size.
Didn't they use like similar sort of like masses and gravitational pulls, and said, and the engine said, okay, something might go here.
Possibly here. It's about this size, and it randomly procedurally generated a brown dwarf that's slightly smaller than a red dwarf with 7 planets around it.
That's pretty good.
So, go your procedural generation engine.
Yeah,
I know, but they've been doing this for years,
and basically they've now renamed it Trappist and Trappist. And
you can get to this in game now, can't you?
Yeah,
it's there. 2.3. I thought they were doing it up and releasing it inverted commas properly in 2.3.
I think it's going to be renamed in 2.3, but it is there, and you can go to it now. But it won't be named Trappist. It will be named whatever the random procedural generation named it like.
I mean, that's really cool. That's what I liked about Frontier and Frontier Elite Dangerous is that it's the galaxy. You can't. I mean, if you look at like Kerbal Space Program, it's the solar system, but not the solar system.
It's the solar system with the serial number scraped off.
Yeah, pretty much. But
you go to the moon.
Elite Dangerous. I remember the first time going from Sol to Barnard Star, and all of that kind of stuff in Frontier, and even in Elite. And now, I can do that again. And these actual proper star systems are there. Yeah. It kind of makes it feel more real, despite the fact it's set eons in the future and I'm flying a spaceship, smuggling prisoners. But it makes it feel more real because, like,
I give legitimate tours now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final boss
this is
fight.
a new thing. Final boss fight official tours.
Would you join a tour? Would you go on a tour that was labeled Final Boss Fight? Hey guys, we're going on an adventure.
Strap in.
Yeah, strap in and armor up.
Well, they have been going well after a fashion.
I have a very small cargo bay at the moment. Okay, I say cargo bay. Passenger.
It comes with a fire extinguisher. It comes with a fire extinguisher that's been put to use many times.
Can I talk about League of Legends?
Probably.
More specifically, can I talk about Riot Games?
Sure.
Okay, so Riot Games last year were started taking legal action against botting services like League Sharp and such and such.
Makes sense.
I saw something about this.
And sure it's kind of a thing that's happening across most MMOs. Overwatch has the same problem where there's sites that you can sign up to and bots will jump on your account, level you up, blah 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 blah. In the first of its kind, Riot Games won. They went all the way to court because they turn around and say that this is harming our cash flow because of our in-game currency, and people are paying for another service that circumvents that by leveling up without actually playing the game.
Not
like people like that in any game, to be honest.
League Sharp were hit with a $10 million payout, frankly crippling whatever operation was there. And they had to give Riot Games control of their sites. So now Riot not only has shut down League Sharp, but they have full access to the
list of people who used it
and the list of people that were using it. So it's the first kind of claim of its kind that's gone like this public. I mean, the payout itself was enough to shut down League Sharp because there was no way they were making that kind of money, and that was the whole behind the payout. But botting in competitive gaming is getting more and more rife. Is kind of the related thing I wanted to get to, and it'll be interesting to see how Blizzard reacts to Overwatch having the same problem, because it is being reported.
It's going to be there, surely. It's in everything.
So I mean, it's quite cool that Riot Games are actively taking action against this. All right, they're taking action against this because they can see it's hurting their bottom line. But hopefully it's going to make gameplay experience in MOBAs and other arena-based games a lot more human. I mean,
in the very lowest sense, at least, them being able to say, look, this is the reason we're taking it to court.
Yeah.
We've got a provable thing. It is hurting our bottom line. Here's how we make the money.
Yeah. Well, they said the Riot points is how because Dota's free to play. League. My mistake. League is free to play.
League is free to play. So this is how we make the money. They're not spending their money to make the money. They're paying someone else to do the thing.
And they keep pushing out content. To tap on about Dota. League and Dota keep pushing out content, keep improving the service. It's a multi-million-pound esport in its own right, and it doesn't need this kind of stuff hanging over it.
Yeah.
In other arena-based news, has anyone got their Quake beta yet?
No.
There's a new Quake coming out. I haven't been paying attention to that at all.
Bethesda has opened up registration for Quake Champions clone beta, which is essentially Quake for Arena 4.
Yeah.
Cool.
I lost track of numbers there.
Okay. Quake Champions is their new version of Quake Arena.
Right.
It looks, from initial looks, I've looked at the videos today and all of the stuff that's on offer. It does look to me like it's Quake 3 Arena HD Redux. Director's Cut, Alpha
Lots
X.
of words.
It will begin in the coming weeks.
Yes, I have signed up. I love Quake 3 Arena. I loved playing Quake 1 multiplayer.
I've enjoyed several Quakes that I can't remember the names of.
in a world of realistic cover-based shooters, running around
just blasting people with a gun.
Yeah, I mean,
go on. I have a funny story actually. At my office a number of years ago, we were allowed to play games outside of office hours on our networks. It's like Call of Duty, Quake. So it's early morning, nobody else is in. It's me and one other chap in, and he says, "Okay, we got 15 minutes, half an hour. Let's have a couple of rounds of Quake." Okay, that's okay. So we start booting it up. instantly the boss walks through the door and we're all busy scrabbling, trying to close it down before she walks around the corner and sees us.
Yeah.
That was funny. I remember that.
I was hoping that you might follow that up with. Turns out she's a huge Quake player and actually jumped on. We played till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Funny enough, we didn't dare ask.
It never came up again.
But the Quake Champions beta is out. Sign-ups are now being taken. I've signed up for it. Like I said, we've had Quake Live for a while, which is a browser-based Quake 3. And let's put that into perspective. It kind of puts something into perspective. When you first started playing Quake 3, you needed a beast of a machine, right? I remember holding my PC around a friend's house to play Quake 3 Arena. He actually now owns his own game company. Shout out to Paw Print Games. Steve, you're a legend. Try Pocus in Retro. No, Cummy in Retro.
You owe us a sponsorship deal there.
Yeah, no, Pocus in Retro was a webcomic that I read about the same time. Cummy in Retro is a video game produced by Paw Print Games. Check it out on iOS. Hashtag not a sponsor. Anyway, I was holding my PC around his house to play
we
Quake
will
3
take
Arena.
Sponsorship.
Playing Quake 3 Arena. And he had a beast of a machine that had 60 frames a second. I had an absolute potato, a Pentium 2, and could barely manage 20. And now we're playing Quake 3 in browsers, a browser plugin, right? You go to the website, log on, you don't download any software, you play it in the browser.
It's big steps forward.
It is giant steps forward. Again, looking back on games like Planetarion, which was a browser-based EVE Online thing, and then you have EVE Online, which is an immersive, fully 3D space experience. But anyway, Quake Champions, all of the classic weapons are there. Super shotgun, machine gun, railgun, lightning gun, rocket launcher. It looks like it's the same super fast-paced arena action shooter that it was, that its granddaddy was all about. So I'm keen to see how it's going to develop. Like I say, in a world full of cover-based tactical shooters, it's really nice just to have a hard and fast jump in and give someone with a rocket. Thoughts?
That sounds like fun. I really want to get in on this beta now. Where's the sign-ups?
It's quake.bethesda.com, I think.
.net.
.net. Thank you. Link in the description below. I bet John forgets to put it in there.
It won't be in the description below, probably.
Okay.
Might be. Who knows? I'll see if I remember.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to weigh in before I talk about Twitch Pulse.
No, you talk about Twitch Pulse, and then I want to try a thing out. And then
okay, so Twitch Pulse, I'll tap on it real quick. Twitch Pulse has launched. It is essentially Twitter for Twitch, which makes signing into Twitch or Twitter even more difficult. It's a news feed that goes out to your followers. I have yet to try it. I'm going to try it after this broadcast. However, it does sound like it's very interesting for broadcasters.
So is this an update on the channel feed?
Yes, as far as I can tell, it's an update on the channel feed. It appears on your homepage when you're logged in. You can see the Twitch, like the feeds of followers of streamers that you follow. And it's kind of gives followers a more direct way to interact with their streamers when either the streamers aren't online or when they aren't aware the streamer's live. It seems to be very good, and I'm looking forward to trying it out, and I will probably weigh in on it a bit more.
When you've tried it.
Well, yeah, when I've tried it. But it is now out, and should be good.
I look forward to seeing it, and it will probably be another thing that, like Twitter, I don't use as much as I probably should.
Here. Now for a social experiment by John. Go to bed.
So yeah, this is a thing. The other day, we recorded a podcast that's probably going to go live later this week because, hey, timey-wimey stuff.
Yes.
We're talking to you from the future.
We're talking to you from the future of that
Hello
podcast.
From the podcast of tomorrow.
Your ways are quaint.
Basically, we ripped apart a Chinese ice cream making website.
A company in China that has a English-facing website that sells ice cream machines that the amount of English involved we just turned around to each other and said, "Hey, we cannot
we can't
talk
just
about
let this go."
Yeah.
While we were on there, or after we finished that, I clicked on another link.
Uh-oh.
Because that seemed like a good thing to do at the time. And I found this 3-paragraph long article on the history of ice cream sundaes.
Right, okay.
Which I've not fact-checked.
For me, every Sunday is ice cream Sunday. I don't know
I've
why
not
people
fact-checked this. So I'm going to say this is probably inaccurate for the most part.
Okay.
We're not going to let that stop us.
But I'm not going to let that stop me reading it.
Is this Final Boss Fight fact check live? Then?
This isn't Final Boss Fight. What I want to do, because just reading it, we've done that. That's going to be in the other podcast. It's going to come out later this week.
Right.
I downloaded a speech jamming app on my phone. Speech Jammer, for anybody unfamiliar with this concept, is an app that plays your own voice back to you on a millisecond or so delay. It does weird things to your brain and stops you being able to read.
Right, okay, yeah.
I heard this on another podcast and it just sounded really interesting.
Actually, I have that when I Discord with some fans, and they play back through speakers.
Yeah.
It literally, I have to slow down what I say, otherwise my brain just stops working. So this is speech jamming is a legitimate thing. Confirm
this is a thing. Can confirm this is a thing that happens. It doesn't affect everybody as much, but yeah,
it affects me. I'm afflicted. I'm sorry.
I'll have to try this out.
It's the most annoying thing. If you want to try it out, for most people, if they had headphones and a microphone, go to your microphone settings and listen, and just tick listen back to this device.
Yeah.
And there is, most sound cards have that delay built in, and trust me, it's trippy and it's the most annoying thing on the planet for me.
It makes it really difficult to speak. So what I've got another pair of noise-cancelling headphones. I'm going to take off the headphones I'm wearing to be able to listen to Geoff and Chris, because it needs to be just my voice.
Okay.
And I'm going to read at least the first paragraph of this. We'll see how long that takes. It'll be interesting.
Hang on. Can I just quickly get a stopwatch up? Hang on.
Go ahead.
Actually, what I want you to do, can you read the first paragraph, like right now,
right now,
as with oh god, why is there no? Oh, hang on, I'll just use my phone. Okay, so okay. I just typed in stopwatch on Windows 10, and Siri Cortana has recommended every app apart from a timer.
Stopwatch. Okay,
yeah.
Here's the first paragraph.
Okay, without the speech jammer. Ready, go.
The hometown of Sundae is in the USA. Early to 1897, the people in America started to eat Sundae ice cream. It is said that Sundae was invented by an ice cream shop owner named George in Wisconsin. George unconventionally poured cherry syrup on ice cream, put a sugar-marinated cherry on it, and sold it to the customers. It was only sold on Sunday at first, but later on, people needed this delicious ice cream more and more, so George provided this kind of ice cream every day. Because it was sold on Sunday at first, so George named it Sundae.
Okay, that was 38 seconds.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to hear you guys for the second reading, so your timing's just going to have to kind of go when I go.
Just put your headphones back on after you're finished, and I will tell you.
Count it in. 3, 2, 1. Count it in, John.
Okay, I will count in. I'll turn on the speech jammer at the same time.
Yes.
And 3, 2, 1. The hometown of Sundae is in the US. 1 minute. Turning this up. 3, 2, 1. The hometown of Sundae is in the USA. Early to 1897, the people in America started to eat Sundae ice cream. It is said that Sundae was invented by an ice cream shop owner named George in Wisconsin. George unconventionally poured cherry syrup on ice cream, put a sugar marinated cherry on it, and sold it to the customers. It was only sold on Sunday at first, but later on, people needed this delicious ice cream more and more.
that was 38
George
seconds.
provided this kind of ice cream every day because it was sold on Sunday at first, so George named it Sunday.
50 seconds.
Wow.
I've had it worse than that.
52.93 seconds. Myth confirmed, boys and girls.
I've done this before with another speech jamming app. I don't know if the delay was more or less on the other one, but I've had stutters appear.
I think because you probably pre-read it, it might be a thing. I'm going to try something else. Can you quickly throw that link in Discord?
I've just downloaded it as a thing. I can just paste it into Discord.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe we'll do that another time where
we'll re-explore this myth.
So basically what we'll do is that both me and you read out the same thing over Discord and see if we can jam each other's brains to the point where we just don't function.
We can try that.
That's pretty cool, though. You know, live science proved you live on the Final Boss Fight podcast.
Oh yeah,
but
we don't just do video games.
No, we goof around and do speech jamming stuff. But I do believe that is a really, really good time to wrap up this particular episode of the EEPc. So, guys, on behalf of John,
hello,
and Mr. Geoff B,
goodbye,
and myself, AG Chris. Guys, thank you very, very much for listening. Be sure to leave a like rating if you liked it. If you didn't like it, there's a thumbs down button there as well. If you did enjoy the content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to let you know when we put a new one of these crazy things up. And hopefully, we'll see you guys next time.